2 days after tribunal judgment, fearless lawyers exposed shocking information, reveals why Tinubu's victory was upheld. On Thursday, some lawyers in Rivers asserted that the ruling upholding President Bola Tinubu's victory was legal and did not reflect the opinions of the general public. Was legal. The ruling was legal and did not reflect the opinions of the general public. How? In their statements in response to the PAPC decision, the lawyers reacted to the news that Mr. Tinubu and Vice President Shettima triumphed in the tribunal. The petition submitted by the Allied People's Movement, the People Democratic Party, and the Labour Party, as well as each of their respective candidates against Mr. Tinubu and Shettima, were rejected by the 5-man panel chaired by Justice Haruna Samani. Speaking, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Theo Osanapo, said, "What may be factually correct may be legally incorrect. So according to the law, whoever that says I have 20 must have the proof that you have 20. If they claim to have 1, they should have been able to tender documents to support their claim." The biggest issue right now is how the general public see judges in Nigeria. This attitude makes things challenging. Okay, he claimed that they weren't even mentioning the votes while bragging about winning elections and having the majority of the votes. So he asked, how many votes did they have? Mr. Loho claims that the Supreme Court has already decided how Abuja 25% vote will be cast and has not granted Abuja any special consideration. Onyinye Ile, a lawyer from Port Harcourt, stated in her contribution that she concurred with the verdict because the petitioners were needed to establish their claims in court. Ms. Ile asserted that information needed to be garnered from polling places, ward levels, local government collection centers, and finally state levels in order to ascertain the results of an election. This drew a lot of attention, and many Nigerians used the comment section to express their opinion. And so very soon there will be no need to study law in Nigeria. Law, of course, we know, no sentiment at all. Obedient and Peter Obi go explain and crying tire. Can you imagine? Based on technicalities, Abi. These are technicalities. Okay. So what do you think about this? Okay. So what I think is that they have murdered sleep in Nigeria. Yeah, so that is why they have written the constitution, they have written the law with plenty loopholes and ways so that they can use it to rig their way through all the time. Now, until Nigeria's constitution is rewritten and the law is reformed, nothing is going to go well in Nigeria. I know it for sure. That is it. You can't say they did not substantiate. They came there with video clips. They came there with papers. They came there with documents. All of them did not work. And you are saying they did not substantiate. It's okay. It's okay. It is what it is in Nigeria. Quite unfortunate. I had a few comments here, about 13 comments. Somebody says Nigeria will never be okay. Only one idiot will stand up and buy 5 people. Okay? And buy 5 people, putting for those who collect bribe and and put Nigeria into sufferness. Your debt will not be okay. That's a nice one. Nigeria. Up to now, Nigeria is in fire. That is it. For once, let Nigerians do something rightly as it ought to be. Nigeria is the power of Africa, but corruption and all forms of vices is now openly practiced to the extent citizens don't have confidence anymore. Our dignity is shambolic or shackled. Our economy is at stake. Okay, where are we heading? Please let justice prevail. Let those who rightly deserve something take their place. Amen. Oh, thanks. It's only God that will help Nigeria. Where do you want to find justice in Nigeria when someone like this have been sworn in? Of course, there's no way you can have justice in Nigeria. Nigeria is grounded. All the exhibits, okay, it turned out in the courtroom. What were they for? Exactly. They brought a lot of exhibits. They brought a lot, both videos, audios, and videos. P2B had the strongest case ever, and the thing shook them. So all they did was just to go and sit down somewhere and use head knowledge to scatter everywhere. And somebody say, however anybody says it, it is my candid opinion that Mr. P2B should pursue the case to the Supreme Court, and let's see whether the judiciary has completely decided to destroy itself and democracy in Nigeria. That is it. So even if Peter Obi goes to Supreme Court, it's not really to go there and win, it's to establish that the whole judiciary in Nigeria is finished and it is grounded once and for all. Judiciary in Nigeria is grounded once and for all. Nothing less, nothing more. It is obvious. So if you have a case in Nigeria and they say they want to go to court, forget it. Nigeria is finished. Those elected judges from Mary Odele's chambers, what do you expect from them? They will get a fair share from what their madam got. Among all other states in Nigeria, it is those charge and bail from Rivers, Wike, Odili, and Asai Dokubo states that show their mediocrity. That is, they didn't follow up the proceedings to see evidences brought before the court. That is, if they understand the meaning of exhibits and evidences at all. Yes, now, almost this country no balance at all. It don't finish now. The country is finished. There's no two ways about it. The country is obviously finished. The country is obviously finished. That even lawyers, even judges. So just like somebody said, people were just out to make their money, not really to uphold the truth. That is it. So people, this time lawyers cash out. And they have cashed out. That is their own. Whether Nigeria is good or not, it doesn't bother them. Whether Nigeria succeed, it doesn't bother them. All they know is that they have cashed out. They have cashed out. Because we know that Labour Party brought a lot of evidences. And then, because they knew the direction Labour Party was going, INEC, who promised from beginning that any litigant coming to collect evidence, they will give them. But they refused to give Peter Obi. They frustrated Labour Party from beginning. They frustrated Nigerians from beginning. They didn't release the document. They disallowed Nigerians and Labour Party to have access to the document that they needed to present in the court. They refused all of that. Even the money, they want the money to get, INEC went to court to disown those reports and to object against them. So what do you get? Tinubu's dollar is speaking. Okay, and you are telling me that Peter Obi did not win because he refused to spend money. Because that's what somebody will say, that the only way to win an election in Nigeria is to spend money. When would we do things correctly? When would we handle judgment without spending money? When would we stop the politics of money and politics of negative sentiment and tribal bigotry? It's unfortunate that Nigeria has slided to this point. There's nothing anyone can do about it. Just go on self-deliverance. I keep saying self-deliverance because Nigeria will never have anything for you or for your family, whether you like it or not. The rich will continue to get rich, the politicians will continue to excel, while the individuals will continue to suffer. Quite unfortunate. A country that is broke as a nation, but individual politicians are extremely richer than Africa. What do you make of that country? It is finished. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment.